You can clear the entire screen in one turn with Lune using this build, which one-shots even really strong endgame enemies, and doesn't require the input of any of your other teammates, so it fits nicely into a regular party setup. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, woo-wee, mon ami. The build I'm going to break down requires you to have beaten Act 2, but the same core principles can be applied much earlier in the game as well. It centers around the two skills Elemental Trick and Elemental Genesis, one of Lune's most powerful attacks, which requires you to have one of each of the elemental stains. Elemental Trick will give you all 4 provided the hits are critical strikes, so we need 100% crit chance. Achieve this by equipping 3 high critical rate Pictos, the actual skills don't really matter, we're here for the stats, and leveling luck and defense to make up the remainder. You're going to need Painted Power, which you get at the end of the Act 2 boss, lifting the damage cap, letting you get crazy numbers, and the other essential is Cheetah, always letting you take 2 turns in a row, which you get for taking down Sprong, that giant Nevron sticking out of the water that has a tremendous amount of HP. You're also going to need to make sure that you have enough AP in order to first cast Elemental Trick and then immediately follow up with Elemental Genesis. They are relatively cheap skills, costing 3 and 4 AP respectively, but you're still going to need to come up with that immediately. A couple of energizing starts and energizing turns should be enough, but just to make sure, you can take one of the weapons which also gives you 1 AP when you consume a stain. This isn't per stain, it is the action of consuming any stains. You can take the Kralim or the Trebuchem. I prefer the Kralim because it scales with agility, which you're going to want to have pretty high to ensure that Lune goes first. All that's left is popping in as many damage increasing Luminers as you can muster. This might be a bit tricky because Cheetah takes up 40 points. Energizing turn and energizing starts aren't super cheap either, but slot in what you can. You may want to go for things like Glass Cannon, Immaculate, Inverted Affinity. I'm not a huge fan of Roulette, but you can do that as well. As you get more available Lumina points and more damage boosting Luminers, this is just going to get stronger and stronger. But even with just a level 20 weapon and a few damage boosting Luminers, it's already absolutely insane. As much as I love the super broken endgame builds, stuff like this is even cooler to me because it's actually feasible quite a bit earlier. You don't need to have beaten a super boss in a super crazy optional area to get all the things that you need for it. 1 turn, 1 shot, no intricate setup with all your other party members feeding into it, but the option to do so if you want to go break it further. Give it a spin, let me know what Luminers you're using with it in the comments, and follow me for more build guides.